Guys, it's the FDT here, and today I'll be explaining gear ratios and gears, but simplifying it. So, the basic gears that we have are worm gears, spur gears, and crown gears. And so the spur gears, which is the main type of gear, so when two of these gears are beside each other, they move the opposite directions. So if this turns right, then this will be turning left. It will be rotating leftwards. So when big turns little, it makes speed because the small gear has to move quickly in order to keep up with the big gear. And when small turns big, it makes torque, which is a force that creates rotational motion. So if you make a lot of torque, it can lift heavier stuff. And so I'll be explaining gear ratios. And so this is a 14-tooth gear. This is a 7-tooth gear. So right here, this is the driver, this is the follower. So it's going to be 14/7. And then you're going to simplify it. So 14 divided by 7, that's 2/1. Take the reciprocal, so 1/2. And then what you get is when the driver goes around once, the follower will go around 2 times. That's how you can increase speed or decrease speed depending on how you make the gears and where the driver is. So right here we have the worm gear. So the worm gear moves gears 1 tooth at a time. It increases torque times the amount of gears. So if this gear has 7 teeth, then the torque will be 7 times as much when you spin it with the worm gear. And another thing to know is that the worm gear can only spin the gear. The gear can't spin the worm gear. So that can help when you're making an elevator or maybe some type of car or something. I'm not sure. And what I mean by 7 times torque is when you create this, wherever the motor is, it has to be spinning the worm gear so that it spins this 7 times as much torque as it would when the motor is spinning the gear itself. Over here we have the rack and pinion. The pinion is the gear that turns the rack. So it's this 5-tooth gear right here. And the rack is somewhat not a gear. It moves the opposite direction of the pinion and can be moved to your chosen direction. So if the pinion moves left, the rack will move right. Just like spur gears do sometimes. I mean all the time really. So if you turn it manually, you can go back and forth whatever way you want. But if it's with the motor, it can only go one direction unless you have some way of reversing it. Okay. Finally, we have the crown gears. So crown gears move gears at a 90-degree angle. Same capabilities as spur gears, but only at 90 degrees. So this can only be functional at a 90-degree angle, and otherwise it's useless. So there you have it, guys. Gear ratios and gears explained, simplified. Thank you very much. Subscribe and like.